West Ham United had a very impressive win against Wolverhampton Wanderers today by 3-0 who sort of, I'm going to say, kick off really their winter Christmas campaign as well. Delighted to say that Sean Whetstone, West Ham blogger, is with us. Sean, good evening to you. Many happy returns of the season festivities so far, and a great return for you guys today.
You know, sky's the limit.
Yeah, brilliant.
Fourth year running in Europe if we keep on going, Mark.
Exactly that. Will stay with us because Dazzling Dave is joining us as well. Always Wolves fan TV. Dave, good to speak to you.
Yeah, first of all, I apologise if there's a little bit of ambient noise. We're literally just at the services on the way back from the game. So anybody
who calls the noise ambient is very welcome on this programme. Don't worry about that. We got the words from all you guys here. Disappointing for you guys today. This has been the season, hasn't it?
Yeah, very disappointing, to be honest. I mean, West Ham, doing great in Europe last year, and our last two visits to West Ham, we haven't scored a goal. We've lost 1-0, 2-0. We lost 3-0 today. I was certainly hoping for more because West Ham obviously played on Thursday night. I thought they might be a little bit lethargic, but it seemed that they had a lot more energy than us. And in recent games, Wolves have been starting incredibly slow. In fact, I can't remember the last time we scored first. Gary O'Neill changed it to a back four tonight, and West Ham punished us 3 times on quick counter-attacks on our left-hand side, and the goals were all too easy, really. I mean, we did rally a little bit in the second half. Sarabia's goal was ruled off by a thumbnail. You all know the history with Wolves and VAR this season. It's like, us against VAR is one of the big derbies of the season this year, and it did us again today, but it was the right decision. Yeah. We had a really, really good 15, 20 minutes after that, and then they hit it with another sucker punch, and that, 3-0 game over.
Just thinking as well, about what's to come for you. You've got to go to Brentford. I think you've got Everton, and you've got Brentford twice, haven't you, of course, in the FA Cup. But then you've got one or two other... You've got a few games coming up now that are absolutely crucial over this period for Wolves as to whether you stay really around that top 10 or you fall a little bit here.
Well, yeah, I mean, next week we've got Chelsea, and to be honest, it's just the sort of game that, people will probably give us. I mean, I know Chelsea haven't been that good this week, but we played Manchester City, we beat them 2-1. We played Tottenham when they were going really good. I know it was just after they'd had that game, with that crazy game. Played really, really well against them. And it's just the sort of game Wolves will probably go and win, because games that a lot of the time we're expected to do better with, we seem to fall up, and then when there's no expectation as such, we do a lot better. To be honest with you, mate, we feel like we need to move to London, because we've had so many games in London. We almost need to get an apartment down in London, and because we got Brentford coming up, and then we draw them away in the cup as well, and it's 14 games now. Can you believe Wolves have gone on London trips, and we're travelling back with next to nothing and disappointments. And
that's a great stat and a good bit to tell us as well. Of course, there are an awful lot of London derbies too, aren't there, for West Ham United, Sean?
Yeah. Well, we went through. Obviously, we had Fulham and Spurs in the same week. Just before Christmas, but we've got Man United coming down. I'm trying to think of the next one, and then we've got Brighton. So I don't think we've got another London derby coming up soon. Look, just picking up with Dave, VAR. I mean, VAR again, a lengthy delay. Felt like 4 minutes in the ground. I haven't seen the replay. Looked offside, and I'm right by the away fans. I don't know where Dave was, but I was waving, offside. But I hear from people that are at home, it was a lot closer than I thought. I was literally behind the goal on the left-hand side. And the problem with, Mark, and this is an issue, and I think, all fans will agree with this, VAR's here to stay. Wolves have had 7 points from, it's well documented, all the points that we've lost from VAR. To be fair, it was the correct decision, but it was literally like a thumbnail offside. It was what it was has gone against us, but the problem is with VAR,
as fans in the stadium, you sat around going, it comes up with Operation VAR, and what's that? And then 4 minutes.
I know.
And if you're watching it at home, you've probably got a better idea what's going on. And that's the problem with VAR. You just do not know in the stadium. The communication has to improve. And it was 4 or 5 minutes, like you say.
It sucks. It sucks the life out of the game, and one of the crucial parts of the game for me, which is enjoy it. You're there to get that extra rush when you score.
Well, we enjoyed it for about 5 seconds until the VAR side come up, and then we're like, oh, VAR, here we go again.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not happy with it. I still think there's a lot that can be sorted out. I do wonder exactly where we are, but the West Ham United, I mean, you have it on so many different fronts as well now. I mean, it is part of the game at this top level, I'm afraid.
Yeah, look, I do think, although we complain about it, it ruins it. As I say, we were having good banter with the Wolves fan. I wasn't very far away. I'm right next to the lower away fan, so probably not far away from Dave.
Could have waved to you.
Yeah, well, there was 3 people at the end singing down the front, including one bald man, and then he was the only one singing at the end. But it does spoil that immediacy of why we go to football of suddenly having to wait around 4 minutes. But look, the result was Wolves unfortunately didn't turn up today. We were briefly 7th. I've only just heard we got 8th because I've only just got back from the stadium myself. So obviously I think Man United and Liverpool drew, so they've gone back 8th, but we're going to be playing them on Saturday. Yeah. We're still in the League Cup quarter-final. Obviously we played Bristol City in the FA Cup. We're top of the group and in the last 16 of Europa League, and we've got a chance of finishing in Europe. Any one of those we win, we get into Europe.
Yeah,
and David Moyes deserves a sizable contract renewal before the summer.
Not just a sizable contract renewal. I'm going to ask you both here. Dave, you come on in a moment, but I'll stay with you, Sean, if I may. What do you need in the mini transfer window? It's never easy to buy at this time of year, but do you need anything extra to add to what you need for what could be an important run in various competitions?
Well, I've been told we're right up into the limit of FFP in Europa League because it's 80% of your turnover on transfers and wages and agent fees, and we're right up to the limit. So I'm told we've got to move some people on. I believe we will try and offload Danny Ings. It just hasn't worked with Danny Ings. Obviously, we need a striker, but as David Moyes said last week, everybody's going to be looking for a striker. And in some ways, you go, do you know what? Do we need them? Our squad's working quite well. So I think it'll be 1 in, 1 out. If we manage to move on Danny Ings, I think we'll get a striker if we can get one, even on loan. If we manage to move on someone like Fornals who wants to go back to Spain, it might be a like-for-like swap out. Yeah. But if I'm honest with you, Mark, as it stands now, the squad's is okay. I can't believe it. We've got to a point where I'm going, do you know what? If we can't find anyone of quality in January, it won't be the end of the world for West Ham.
And won't disrupt the dressing room either, which is always important.
Yeah.
Dave, what do you think? Do you need anybody?
Well, what we need back, first of all, is a fit Pedro Neto, because I think he's still in the top 5 of assists for the season. So that would be great. Wang Hee-chan has just signed we know he's signed, but it hasn't been officially announced yet by Wolves. He's signed a contract extension till about 2028 with a year's option. It's a great signing for us. He's banging in the goals. He was a bit out the picture today. But we're going to lose him to the Asia Championships, and then we lose him Ryan Ait-Norrie, who's probably one of our best win backs, just coming back from injury today, again in the African Cup of Nations. So Fabio Silva, and sadly it's not working out for him. I think he'll probably go out on another loan, maybe a sale. The Wolves are reluctant to sort of like lose so much money because we paid 35 million for him, and it's just not happening for him in the Premier League. Sasha Kalajic's obviously not getting much game time, so we need a striker, definitely. But probably another wide forward. And probably a little bit more support in the defence. Obviously, it's well documented with the issues that Wolves have had with FFP this year. So, during the summer it was a bit chaotic, and probably Wolves was a bit of a laughing stock for most of the things with the comedy stuff that's going. But, we're doing okay.
Yeah.
But I think this January there'll be about 20 to 30 million available. Hopefully we'll keep hold of Pedro Neto, and then there should be a little bit more clear blue water come the summer. So for this year for Wolves, we can get 2 or 3, clever additions in January. I think we'll be all right for the season. If we can improve on 13th with Gary O'Neill coming in with just sort of 3 days before the start of the season, that'd be real progress. And we'd love to have a nice run in the FA Cup. So that would be kind of nice as well. But we'll probably have about 20, 30 million, I think, to invest, which hopefully can be spent wisely.
Get hold of somebody anyway. Guys, all I've got to say, have a great Christmas period for both of you. Very much part of this show as well. So thank you for that on the Sunday Night Club. Sean Whetstone and Dazzling Dave as well. Always Wolves Fan TV. We've got the refs. We've got Mark Halsey. We have